Hello folks, Shintigercurl here, that dude in the straw hat, bringing you another awesome video. It's Monday night. You know what that means? Time for some Raw. So, last week, Shane O'Mac started, we had the night after WrestleMania. A lot of shit went down that made me hopeful for the future. But Roman Reigns is still champion, so I guess we gotta settle for that. So, how was it? How was this week's episode? Got my notes. Let's get started. But first, my phone broke. Gotta put my snowball up. So anyway, we opened the night with Shane O'Mac. That's right. Surprisingly enough, Vince was so much pleased by the social outpouring of fans and supporters for good old Shane O'Mac that he decided to give him another shot running Raw. And what does he do? Well, first off, he decides that we have to find out who's the new #1 contender for the WWE Tag Team titles, held by the New Day. So tonight began the great WWE Tag Team Tournament, which we later find out is sponsored by Usos. They make sure you ain't booty. He also announces that Natalya will be facing off against Charlotte for the women's title. Still feels good to say that. Women's title. Yeah, awesome. And of course tonight, he also says that's because Sami was taken out by Kevin Owens last week. He didn't really get his chance at the #1 contendership match like everyone else. So tonight, Sami Zayn versus AJ Styles to decide who will face Roman Reigns at Payback next month. Well, actually, if Sami wins, then it will make it a triple threat. But Kevin Owens comes out saying that he not only did he feel screwed out of the world title match, world #1 contenders match, but he wanted his appropriate rematch for his Intercontinental title. Kevin Owens, Shane O'Mac is like, okay, but first you got to earn it. That's how things roll when I'm in charge. You have to earn it. So tonight, you will face off against a man who has really been itching for some competition. And the winner will face The Miz at Payback for the Intercontinental title. And that man, Cesaro, the Swedish Superman in a suit. And that's when we got our first match. And what a match. Kevin Owens, Cesaro. Winner faces Miz at Payback for the IC belt. This was a balls-to-the-wall fantastic match. These two have always had great chemistry in the ring. I guess it stems from their days in the Ring of Honor. Needless to say, this was a great way to open the night. Balls-to-the-wall action, and lots of interesting ring psychology in the ring, which you rarely see nowadays, which showcases the skills of both Cesaro and Kevin Owens. But in the end, Cesaro picks up the win. So, Miz, get ready. You got an uppercut coming your way. Backstage, Kevin Owens complains to Shane, and he threatens that Sami Zayn's match might not go as planned. So Shane does the smart thing. He throws him out. Pretty much, yeah. Next up, the first matchup in the WWE Tag Team Tournament sponsored by Usos. Of course, we got a little promo by the WWE Tag Team Champions, the New Day. So anyway, the first match, Kalisto and Sin Cara, the Lucha Dragons, take on the Dudley Boys. Now, this one is a weird one because at the start of the match, during the commercial break, Kalisto looked like he got really injured. Like, he took a very stiff landing outside the ring, and he was out for the remainder of the match, forcing Sin Cara to wrestle against both Dudley Boys. Now, this is an instance where Bubba Ray really put his veteran skills to use. He used his heel tactics to kind of gloss over what happened with Kalisto. But I hope that Kalisto was just really selling it really, really well. But if not, then he was going to join the long laundry list of athletes on the WWE roster that's been out with injuries. God, it's so big right now, I can't even name them all. Needless to say, the Dudley Boys win because it's 2-on-1, basically. I hope to God that Kalisto is doing okay, because not only would they be out another talented wrestler, but they'd actually be out one of their champions, because Kalisto was still the United States champion. Then Enzo and Kaz come out and trade barbs back and forth with the Dudley Boys. Enzo and Kaz still over like hotcakes, still the realest guys in the room. How you doing? And if you ain't down with that, then there's only one word to describe you. I'm gonna spell it out. S-A-W-F-T. Swift. Next up, Roman Reigns comes out. And he gives perhaps one of the laziest and dumbest promos I've ever heard. It was worse than tater nuts. Or tater tots. Worse than suffering succotash. Essentially, what Roman Reigns did was copy almost word for word his promo from last week, when he was met with a wave of boos. He said, "Hey, I'm not a bad guy. I'm not a good guy. I'm just the guy." And he talked about AJ and Sami, how they won belts all over the world, but they didn't win his belt. And then he reiterated the stipulation of the match that they were going to have later. God damn, this promo sucked. Like, really bad. It's bad enough that he basically copied and pasted his speech, his promo from last week, but then to reiterate what we already knew was dumb enough in and of itself. Thankfully, and I can't believe I'm saying this, the League of Nations come out. And Rusev pulls off a good line when he says, "You may be the guy, but I am a man. I am strong and better looking than you." So wait, did he just say what I think he said? Wait, I gotta set up for this. Sorry, I gotta do this right. So, you may be the guy, Roman Reigns, but I am a man. Cooling gel. That was interesting. So yeah, the League of Nations come down to the ring and prepare to jolly stomp on Roman. But he gets some help from the Wyatt family. I don't know. I have no idea how to feel about this. Then apparently the spirit of Teddy Long entered into Shane O'Mac at that point, and he came out to basically say, "Now hold on there a minute, players. It ain't gonna be none of this chaos right here. So we're gonna have our main event with Roman Reigns teaming with Bray Wyatt against the League of Nations. And the winner has to go one-on-one with The Undertaker. Holla, holla." He didn't really say Undertaker. But yeah, the main event, Bray Wyatt and Roman Reigns versus the League of Nations. That's going to suck. Anyway, after this, we finally have Natalya versus Charlotte for the women's title. Before this, we have an intervention from the night's guest, Dr. Phil. And actually, he was actually pretty okay. He had a kind of nice promo against Charlotte for always relying on her father to get her over, and this would be something that the bookers need to listen to, because Charlotte doesn't need her father to get her over. She's perfectly capable of doing it herself. But anyway, Charlotte and Natty, women's title match. This was a very good match with a shit ending. It was very back and forth, very competitive, very physical, very technical, surprisingly. A match worthy to be called a women's title match. The end comes when Natty locks in the sharpshooter on Charlotte. Then Rick pulls the ref out of the ring, just as Charlotte began to tap. Then he called for the bell. He said that the winner of the match, via disqualification, was Natty, but Charlotte was still the champ. And of course, Dr. Phil was out there spitting that truth that Charlotte doesn't need her father, and it just kind of fucks over her legacy. I mean, this was a great match. The ending just was terrible. Go away, Rick. You're not doing your daughter favors. Anyway, we move on to the next match in the WWE Tag Team Title Tournament, being the Usos against the Social Outcast, specifically Curtis Axel, a.k.a. the Axeman, a.k.a. Cold Beer, versus Heath Slater, a.k.a. Mr. Miller. Surprisingly enough, this was actually a pretty competitive match, with the Social Outcast looking very strong in this match. It really could have gone either way. I like how they're portraying the Social Outcasts as more legitimate threats than just throwaway jobbers. Almost makes me want to get rid of my title for them as the Jabberwockies. But, surprisingly, the Usos barely pick up the win. But they have very little time to enjoy it, as the moment we've all been waiting for happened. They were attacked by a team not in the tournament. A team that we have been readily looking forward to for the past 4 months. All I have to do is do this. Biz Clears, baby! That's right, Bullet Club, all day, every day. Somebody too sweet me, too sweet me through the camera, too sweet me through the screen, too sweet me. That's right. Doc Gallows, now going as his original name, Luke Gallows, and his partner, Machine Gun Carl Anderson, made a name for themselves by beating the shit out of the Usos. And we had Bullet Club chants all the way. Bullet Club, baby. For life. It's getting really interesting on the main roster. Anyway, next up, the real main event of tonight. AJ Styles, Sami Zayn. Winner faces Roman, the WWE title. This was a fantastic fucking match. It wasn't as good as Shinsuke versus Sami, but given how much time they were working with and what the constraints were, it was easily the best match of the night, best match of the month as far as Raw is concerned. This just shows you that Sami and AJ deserve to be on the main roster and battling for the main belt, even though both of them are vastly superior to Roman Reigns in every conceivable area that matters. Whew, this is a fantastic matchup. You have to see it for yourself. But in the end, AJ pulls off the victory. I'm not even mad about it because I know Sami's time will come. Backstage, they talk about it, and Shane gives them personal congratulations on such a phenomenal match. And I'm not even kidding. Great match, boys. Next up, the highlight reel. Jericho comes out to interview the greatest champion who has ever graced the highlight reel, himself. Yep, pretty much Jericho does what he does best as a heel, suck his own dick. And it was interesting to watch him interview himself. Then Dean Poole came out. That's right, Dean Ambrose, with a sign and a potted plant and a clip-on tie. He comes out there, pastes a cardboard sign with the words Ambrose Asylum over the obscenely expensive Geritron 5001. And he says that he has a message from Shane O'Mac. And after some hilarity, he gives it to him and says that as of tonight, the highlight reel starring Chris Jericho is thereby removed and disbanded, to be replaced by Dean Ambrose and the Ambrose Asylum. So, Dean decides to interview Chris Jericho as his first guest to ask him about a scarf. Chris decides to be a little bitch and gets dirty deeds done to him. So yeah, Ambrose Asylum somewhere up there. Piper is smiling. Next up, Apollo Cruz versus Adam Rose. We already know about Apollo Cruz. Very talented in-ring competitor, kind of sucky on the mic. But still, he gets over with his pure athleticism alone. And this match was actually pretty decent, as Adam Rose, like the rest of the Social Outcasts, are being portrayed more as more legitimate threats. And this was a very close back-and-forth matchup. But nonetheless, Apollo Crews won. Now, for the main event. Bray Wyatt and Roman Reigns versus the League of Nations, specifically Sheamus and Alberto Del Rio. This is weird because everyone in this match outside of Roman wants to kick Roman's ass. They've either want to kick Roman's ass, have kicked Roman's ass, or in the process of kicking Roman's ass. And Bray even cuts a promo stating that he still doesn't like him. He still plans to destroy him, but for tonight, they will join forces, in a way. And it's so weird that the guy whose the whole thing was anyone but you, Roman, teams up with Roman Reigns. And it all should be noted that out of all that there are 3 legitimate heels in this match, and yet Roman got the most boos. I mean, it was so bad they had to pipe in cheers, but the cheers were getting drowned out by the boos. Hell, at points in this match, Bray was actually getting more cheers than Roman Reigns. But needless to say, this was an okay match. If there were anyone who looked strong in this one, it's Bray Wyatt, and he really needed to look strong because of the past feuds have not really made him look strong. He really needs to be the legitimate threat because, honestly, he has more charisma and in-ring ability than Roman Reigns ever will. And not surprising, Bray picked up the win, and we close with Bray getting up all in the face of Roman Reigns. And that is Raw. My thoughts? Once again, I love it. This might be in contention for my favorite Raw of the year so far. We had a great opener match, which sets up for the next pay-per-view for the Intercontinental title. We have the start of the WWE Tag Team Tournament to determine who will face the New Day. We got some potential tournament matchups between Enzo and Cass and the Dudley Boys. If Enzo and Cass beat the Ascension this Thursday on SmackDown. New show, the Ambrose Asylum. And we had a phenomenally awesome match between Sami Zayn and AJ. Also, the women's match, awesome until the end. And Roman, they fucking up. They fucking you up. And I'm not sure you can recover, boy. Sorry. So yeah, that's my review. Unfortunately, this might be my last review for a while because if you follow me on Twitter, then you would know that this Wednesday I'm going into the dentist to get some major dental work done. Kid, this tooth right here is getting removed, so it will impair my speech to the point where I will be able to talk. It's just that I'll be slurring my speech so much that I'll be unintelligible and spitting blood and pus and spit everywhere until I learn to get used to not having this tooth here, as well as getting used to eating. I'm going to be eating not solid foods for a couple of weeks until my mouth heals up. Maybe it's my second time getting my tooth pulled out, so there's that. So I won't be doing any videos or reviews for a while, up until tomorrow. But I have been recording a lot of content from the next parts of my in-depth study of the War Machine Hordes universe. So make sure you watch those videos if you're interested. They're still getting views, and I thank you for all of those who've been watching them. I enjoy making them. I enjoy sharing this history and this knowledge about this game, and all of it is just awesome. Thank you very much for liking it. So expect a lot of Hordes videos, and I'm going to be still recording content up until Wednesday when I have to get my tooth taken out. So, if you like what you see, you already know. Link, comment, subscribe. That's all you need to do. You already know how to support the channel. Just smash that like button for a couple of times. And I want to thank everyone who contributed to my Patreon. What little that I did was enough to get me to get my tooth and get my work done. So you already know what to do. You already know the deal. I'm not even going to say it. So, until next time, it's been Shintigercurl, that dude in the straw hat, saying good night, and I gotta do this again. I am a man! New Xfinity remote. Who knew?